Welcome back to BlackManProblems. I am Anthony Brown.
And I am Ciaran Callum.
And again we have...
Caroline Walker.
Yo. And today we're going to be talking about conversational icebreakers. So last time we were here, we were talking about worst dates ever kind of thing. So these are questions now you can ask to help the date along. What can you say to keep the questions going? Ciaran here was on a date the other day. Didn't go so well in his favour. So these questions... we might even go into it. Let him explain what went wrong. Anyway, so Caroline has a couple of questions she's going to put to each of us, and we're going to try and answer them as best we can.
Okay, who am I going first to then? Are you both gonna...
Should we go rock, paper, scissors for it?
Yeah.
Alright, let's have three. 1, 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What was that? You went like that. What's that?
Paper.
Oh, I do that for paper.
It doesn't really matter as long as your hand is...
Oh.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So that means I'm going first.
Okay.
Alright, I'm going.
Right, who was your first kiss with?
Alright, now, my first kiss. I don't actually remember my first kiss per se, but I remember my first series of kisses. And it happened when I was about...
There's about 7 of them.
6 or 7. And after primary school...
6 or 7?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. After primary school, I used to go to basically a friend of my parents' house after school. Now, okay, it's nothing that bad, but this was a woman called Mrs. Kenyon. She was like a kindly old lady, but she had a granddaughter.
Oh my God, please don't say it was with her.
An old lady?
Oh, okay.
No, she had,
It was an old lady. Question number 2.
Gilf.
it was a granddaughter. She had a granddaughter, and she had 2 granddaughters, and one of them was like a few years older, maybe like 10 or something like that. And she would make me play mummies and daddies with her.
Oh,
And mummies and daddies involved us going under the beds and kissing, basically.
Whoa.
Well, it was quite adult then.
Yeah.
That's quite adult.
With tongues as well.
With tongues at 6 or 7?
Yeah. No word of a lie.
That explains a lot, you know.
And
This is
12 years ahead
this
of
is a
me.
very sexual guy, and now I know the reason
the thing is,
why.
the joke is, like, I was so young that like puberty hadn't begun to kick in, so I wasn't remotely interested in what we were doing. She was like, it's like, imagine like you have a boyfriend who really likes to watch a TV show, and he's always making you watch the show. Like, oh, for fucks, do we have to watch it? Yes, we do.
Oh, it was like that.
It was like that. So she'd be like, Ciaran, let's play mummies and daddies. And I'd be like, do we have to? Yes, or I'll hate you. And I'd be like, well, don't
But like
want you
tongues
to
and
hate
all.
me.
Don't you wish it was like that now, though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. But that
Kind of want that girl to take you under the big
I
covers
kind of
and
wish I
plead
could
for a
see
kiss.
her again, actually, because she's probably like, she's in a...
Try the same technique on her now. Try that same technique she used with you then, now.
No.
They'd probably just call that rape, wouldn't they?
No. Yeah, they would call that definite abuse, molestation.
What about you?
So my first kiss, proper kiss, was with a girl also named Caroline.
The best.
Yeah. There was a time when I just went out with Carolines. That's when I was at C in the alphabet. I'm at Y now. So yeah, her name was Caroline. I won't give her last name away. She probably knows. She's probably out there somewhere. And I remember it was like it was planned. It was like, okay, after school, I'm going to meet you here. And like, it was a weird thing in our school. Whenever you got with a girlfriend, everyone would know you were going to give her the first kiss after school, after it was official.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was just a weird thing that happened in our school. So I remember loads of people standing around. Like, imagine your first kiss, how nervous it would be anyway. Proper, but loads of people standing around. And because it was almost like tradition in our school, I knew it was coming.
But you did it in front of people?
Yeah, so it was in front of loads of people.
Oh my God.
And everyone just stood in a circle.
Yeah, and I was like, and everyone stood in a circle and just watched. And this happened like throughout everyone's relationships when they got together with someone in this school. And I remember kissing her, getting her over it, and then me being so happy and pleased with myself, I ran all the way home. Just like, almost like immediately afterwards, like...
For a wank.
Now let's go get that wank! And I ran straight home.
That's quite sweet.
God.
Yeah, I like that.
It was good.
That's a bit like Gladiator though, in like
Does that happen in
amphitheatres. No, but do you know what I mean? It's a bit like an audience. Like
No, it was like that, and it was like that not
You
just
know
to meet
what
everyone.
that actually kind of reminds me of? Like a coming of age ceremony.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
Like you're coming a boy
And
and
it
then
totally
you leave
wasn't
a
weird at the time. At the
No.
time, it wasn't weird. Whereas now, when I think about it, like, God,
that's really weird.
everyone going around, they're kind of like, as you did afterwards, kind of thing.
Right, should we move on to number 2?
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you want the world to know about you?
Okay, what I want the world to know about me is that I never give up and I keep pushing through, and that I've got a goal for where I want to be in my life, and I'm never going to stop until I get there.
That's good.
Yeah, because I feel like I'm a person who's on like an upward trajectory, but throughout my life there's always been like trials and tribulations and things I've had to overcome about myself. But I'm destined to get to where I want to get to, and I guess I want people to know that about me.
I think that's really good.
That's a really good goal.
Thank you.
It's gonna be hard to. It's gonna be hard to answer. How do I follow that?
Yeah.
I'm trying to answer it honestly. What I definitely want the world to know, and I think it is a lot of the time. I feel like people don't know my talents, what I can actually do. I'm like, sometimes you feel like if you're at work, sometimes you feel like, man, I can offer so much more than this.
Yeah.
And that's what I want the world to know. I want them to see exactly what it is that I can offer. Like, there's so many talents that I've got when it comes to, like, you know, script writing and comedy. Like, me and Ciaran have been talking about doing stuff like this. Just doing stand-up comedy stuff, making movies. Like, there's so many cool things musically that I want to get them all out. And that's what I'd like the world to know. I just want them to see what my actual potential is, my full potential.
I want to revise my answer because after you said that, well, I mean, everything I said was true, but what I also want the world to know is like, okay, I'm going to reveal something about myself now.
Oh, go on.
You know, you have men like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, or even like just various inspirational people like, I don't know, Winston Churchill. I always kind of see myself as one of those people.
Oh, wow.
Like deep down inside, like that's who I am.
Yeah, and you want the world to know and see that.
Bloody realise it.
Yeah.
Well, swerving into a completely different tangent now.
Anyway, next question.
Love this question. Tell me an embarrassing story about your childhood.
Actually, okay, the only one that comes to mind is I was about 6 or 7 and I wet myself at school. It could have been much worse, but basically I had this teacher called Mrs. Jackson and she hated me. She genuinely actually hated me. She thought I was an evil, vindictive, little horrible, spiteful bunion of a child. And yeah, she really did. Like, she didn't like me at all. So one day I said, Miss, like, I need the toilet. Can I go for a wee? And she was like, no, you can't, no. And I stood there, like, I'm literally, you know, like, you're holding your knees together and stuff, and, like, you're really fighting. And I fought, but eventually I just wet myself all over. Yeah.
Oh, mate, I couldn't.
Bet she regrets that.
Yeah.
Yeah, bitch. Jackson. Sorry, Miss Jackson. I'm trying to think if I had any
Please say
bitchy
you have
teachers.
some.
I do. It's not that embarrassing, but it kind of is. But I remember being in school, and, like, I am dead scared of like insects, spiders, and not just insects, but like spiders and flying ants are my two things that I can't like. I won't go outside. Like, oh, okay, I can't come to work. Flying ants are out this today. And I was in the assembly in the school hall, and you know, everyone's kind of sat cross-legged, and it's like, you know, going back rows and rows, and the head teacher was kind of saying, and now we're going to sing the Lord's praise, and going on and on. Then I stood up and went, because a spider had crawled up my leg, and literally I broke like a quiet silence in the hall, and then everyone's kind of looking up at what's he doing. Then I just saw this dead spider kind of fall down on my leg, and I just kind of crossed my leg and sat back down again. But then it's that feeling of,
yeah, is that what?
Yeah, because not everyone would know what had happened.
Yeah. No one would know.
No one would know, because no one would see the spider, and like people
like
around me was like, "Oh god,
spider.
yeah." You don't want to be like, so carry on. It was a spider. It's a spider.
And how
went up my leg with spider.
How old were you when this happened?
Oh mate, it would have been like I was young. I was young enough. Young enough to be sat down cross-legged in an assembly somewhere. Sorry, excuse me, but yeah, that was my.
Still a bit emotional.
Yeah, I'm still a bit emotional about it.
Still not quite about it.
Yeah.
Right then, moving on. Who's your favourite superhero and why?
Oh yes.
All right, my favourite superhero is Wolverine.
Good choice.
Okay, now So run you through Wolverine's powers. He's basically got accelerated healing. So like if you stab him in the neck, his neck will heal up before he actually bleeds out. Also, he's got animal senses. He's got like amazing eyesight, amazing hearing. So Wolverine's entire skeleton is covered in this unbreakable metal called adamantium. So like you shoot him in the head, the bullet will just bounce off. And as well as that, he's got like this unbelievable rage inside him that allows him to just like fight for ages without ever getting tired. And on top of that, he's trained in like multiple like forms of martial arts. And he's like a really cool guy. I'm a Wolverine fan.
Fucking Wolverine fanatic for sure. Mine's kind of cliche. Mine's like Spider-Man.
Superman. Oh, okay.
No, not Superman. Superman's too boring. Yeah. I just love what Spider-Man could do. Even Spider-Man's got the coolest fucking outfit. First of all,
yeah,
like with those eyes and everything, and it's the fact that he can just whip through the city. Like the only thing I don't like about Spider-Man, I should say, is the fact that he has to be in a city with lots of buildings. Because I always used to think to myself, man, if I was Spider-Man, where else, especially coming from Birmingham. There's no like tall buildings.
You just have to leap from.
Yeah, it'd be like you'd just be walking from A to B, like oh man, or you'd just be like little short. And the other thing that I like about Spider-Man is the fact that he uses his knowledge of science to outwit the bad guys a lot. Yeah. So he's super intelligent, and yeah, Spider-Man.
I met the makeup artist Tobey Maguire on Spider-Man, and he very kindly dressed up as Spider-Man for her grandson. How cute is that?
What, Toby?
Yeah. How cute is that?
That's awesome.
Must have made her grandson's day.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so cute.
That's not fair.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Toby, for not doing it for me for my birthday. Fuck you.
What are we on? 5? What do you look for in a woman?
Alright.
Do you have all day?
Number 1, like, okay, if I'm looking at a woman that I might be interested in, firstly, she has to pass the physical, as I call it.
Christ.
I'm just going to be honest.
What, appearance or like there's an actual physical test?
Not just like appearance.
Okay.
But basically you need, like there's the physical and then there's mental. You have to pass the physical. Like I want the mental too, but if you don't have the physical, we're not getting to the mental stage.
Okay.
So there needs to be an attraction. Dare I say I might have a thing for nice sasses as well. Just might do. Just out there. Yeah, it might be. And after that, like in terms of but in terms of personality, what do I want? I want open-mindedness. Like I want someone who's like willing to try new things and isn't like narrow-minded enough to say, oh, that's not something that I do and I'm only used to doing this sort of stuff, so I'm not going to open my mind to any other possibilities. I want open-mindedness. I like someone with like goals and aspirations as well. Someone that's doing her own thing. I've never really been like attracted to women who need to be rescued.
No, like damsel in distress.
Yeah, like I know a lot of guys like that. In fact, I think most guys do, but this doesn't really do it for me. I prefer like strength as well. Yeah. I kind of do. So like, to be honest, I was in bed with a girl once.
Yes, you do.
As you do. And like, one thing I like to do is like, I like to like wrestle with them. But like, I want them to...
Do you?
Yeah.
You wrestle with them?
Kinda, yeah. It's just fun.
Like, how hard?
Like, I want them to like, try and like...
Get you down?
Yeah, but like... It's
like play wrestling's fun,
yeah,
but not like...
it's play wrestling, but I want them to try.
So,
like it's play wrestling, but I want them to try. I want to feel some sort of resistance.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because like in order to like...
I learn new things about you every day.
Yeah, because like what I mean is like if a girl's like too flimsy, there's no fun actually like pinning her down.
Do you know what a strawberry cheesecake is?
No. But I think I might want to.
It only reminded me of that because, and I don't know how I know this, generally don't. I think maybe Urban Dictionary or something. It's apparently when you're like play fighting with a girl or something, and then you're having sex and you punch her in the face and she gets a bleeding nose.
Oh gosh.
And you keep having sex and it's called strawberry cheesecake.
All right.
For me, I'm similar with you, like, looks has to be, I know it sounds like you're being shallow, but looks has to play a part, doesn't it?
Well, yeah,
you gotta have
to
that.
get turned on, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Great legs is another one. If I'm going to keep talking about looks, that's about it. Looks, first of all. You got to look good. But then after that, the personality is going to be right. And I like funny girls. Girls that can make me laugh, basically. Because they're very rare to come by. If you think about how many successful female comedians there are out there, there's not that many. Yeah, I'm not saying that women aren't funny. I'm just saying there's not many of them around that are well-known or successful. Anyway, so I wanted to be funny. And I definitely want her to have interest that I'm like, oh, you do a bit of that? Well, tell me more about it. There's nothing worse than being with a girl that's not really doing anything, with no ambition. Like, oh man, like, do something.
Yeah, like I want to spend all your money and shop.
Yeah. Why would you want that?
Yeah.
I want to sit down and be interested about their day. Like, oh, that's cool. No way. And just stuff that I can conversate.
I know exactly what you mean. Earlier on today, I met a girl who basically said she's working on a screenplay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we sat down and we spoke for about 15 minutes about a screenplay.
Exactly
and
that.
she told me like the storyline and stuff. It's just, it's fascinating.
Can feed off each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because guys because like guys can meet other guys quite easily and have similar interests. Like we love like anime, comic books, writing, stuff like that. But it's kind of rare for like you to meet a girl that's gonna have similar interests that are quite not just guyish in a way, but just typical things that you might like. Because all guys are into computer games mostly as well. Not all girls are, but I'd like to find a girl that can get into some of those things that I can get into, as well as I can get into the same things. Yeah, for her. Yeah. And I guess that is it. She's just a nice, down-to-earth person. Someone's just kind of cool. You can leave her with your mates and be away. Yeah. And it's going to be cool.
Yeah. And she's not going to get offended because you left her.
Yeah. She just gets on. She just gets on with it. That.
Right, we're going into different territory now. It's quite an interesting one.
When I play adult melody, anything less than the best is a felony. Love it or leave it, you better get away. You better get balls out, the kid don't play. If it was a problem, yo, I'll solve it.
Ice, baby.
Find out next week on Black Man Problems. Tune in every Sunday and don't forget to subscribe.